Lesson 1: Legal Forms of Business Ownership. Sole Proprietorship. Dear learner, you are most welcome to this lesson on legal forms of business ownership, starting with sole proprietorship. Learning outcomes. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to 1. Explain the meaning of sole proprietorship. 2. Identify sole proprietors in your community. 3. Explain the advantages and disadvantages of sole proprietors. Introduction. In this lesson we are going to learn the business startup process, or simply how to start up a business. We shall start with the subtopic, the legal forms of business ownership. There are 4 legal forms of business ownership from which you can choose. These are sole proprietorship, partnership, liability companies and cooperatives. Therefore, you as an entrepreneur should be able to choose the most suitable form for your business. Now let's look at them one by one, starting with sole proprietorship. Sole proprietorship. Did you know that there are people who do business alone? Have you ever seen a person doing a business alone? If the answer is yes, then that type of business is called sole proprietorship, and the person is called a sole trader or a sole proprietor. Sole proprietorship/sole trade is a business that is started and owned by one person. He/she starts a business, contributes the capital needed, operates the business, enjoys all the profits and bears all losses alone. A sole proprietor may be assisted by family members or may hire some workers to assist in the day-to-day business activities. Advantages of sole proprietorship business. The following are the benefits enjoyed by a business owned by one person, sole proprietorship. It is easy to start and dissolve the business. This is because there are no legal formalities involved. Decision-making and implementation is easy. This is because you can take on-spot decisions to exploit opportunities from time to time. This is because it is not necessary to call any meeting or go through formalities of major approvals. A sole trader is his/her own boss. When you own a business, then you are a boss of yourself. You are not answerable to any other person. You have full control over your business, as there is no outside interference. This gives you a higher degree of independence. He enjoys the profits alone and bears all the losses. This provides the sole proprietor with a high degree of incentive, since she knows that his/her wisdom and hard work can benefit him/her, and his/her mistakes can ruin him/her. A sole proprietor enjoys top secrecy. He is the only person who knows his/her business secrets and has a better chance to preserve them than any other form of business ownership. The owner is not required to publish the accounts of the business like in companies. The sole trader mainly employs family members. This creates employment opportunities for family members. Disadvantages of sole proprietorship business. Having looked at the advantages of a sole trader, there are some disadvantages which include the following. In an event of making losses, an entrepreneur suffers all losses alone. This makes it burdensome, and at times impossible for such a business to recover in case of heavy losses. The capital resources of a sole proprietor are limited. This may make the expansion of the business difficult, if not impossible. The entrepreneur may be overworked since he or she is alone in business, so may be the purchasing manager, sales manager, and accountant among others, and may work for longer hours, hence being overworked affect the quality of life. Unlimited liability, i.e. in case of business debts, his/her private assets can be taken away to pay them. There is no distinction between business and personal property. Lack of continuity for the business. The life of the business depends upon the life of the owner. Usually when the owner dies, the business comes to an end or collapses. There is limited or no specialization. This is because the sole proprietor/trader may do all the work by him/herself alone, yet a sole proprietor may not be good in all business aspects due to personal limitations. Conclusion. We have looked at the meaning of sole proprietorship, the advantages and disadvantages of such businesses. Now I want us to do the following activity. Activity: identify any 3 sole proprietors/sole traders in your community. What are the characteristics of sole proprietors in your community? 3. What challenges do sole trade businesses identified above face? 4. Suggest ways how the sole traders in your community can overcome.